you waiting for? Yeah, the best is yet to come. So take your dreams and run. And watch a new day dawning. It shines on everyone. Yeah, the best is yet to come. The future's burning brighter than the sun. Yeah, the best is yet to come. Like a bird up in the sky.
I'm Mark Weissong.
And I'm Cherie Darian.
And we'd like to welcome you to the Colletonian Business Jouirnal.
This is your moment, what you waiting for? Yeah, the best is yet to come. So take your dreams and run. Watching you day dawning as it shines on everyone. Yeah, the best.
We'd like you to take a minute to join our new and improved Colletonian Business Jouirnal.
New and improved?
Why, yes, Cherie, it is new and improved. It's 24 pages of information chock full of everything that you could do and enjoy here in the Colletonian area.
And you want to know what my best part is?
Well, tell everybody.
It is the logo. Check out this logo.
Yeah, the best is yet to come.
I'm Mark Weissong. I'm here with Mr. Bubba Tripp, event planner of the Colleton County Rice Festival. Mr. Tripp, tell everybody what it is and when it is.
This is the 48th year of the Colleton County Rice Festival, and the Rice Festival is powered by RIB Federal Credit Union and Genesis Healthcare. The festival is on April 28th and 29th, that's a Friday and Saturday, which Taste of Waldorf will be preceding that on April 25th. Lots of events going on that weekend.
Make sure you check it out at www.ricefestival.org.
Fuller Park in Barnwell, South Carolina was named for a gentleman named C.G. Fuller. Mr. Fuller started out kind of small, had a dump truck and some smaller amount of equipment, but he decided that he could lay asphalt in Barnwell County. I think he laid about 50 miles.
He was also mayor at one point here in Barnwell, and so that's where Fuller Park comes from. It had a swimming pool that was fed by the creek.
You know, we all called it a pool, but basically it was Turkey Creek running through a cement pond.
I think they had a dance hall down there. There were tennis courts. There was a baseball field in the back where a number of the kids learned how to play baseball that are still around today.
But of course, as time goes on, some of these changes, had to occur. The baseball field, was, or at least the stadium part of the baseball field, was eventually torn down in the 1940s, I think. And then I can remember when they played football on what was the baseball field. The high school football team used it as a football field for a while on the back side of the property, and there was continued use of tennis courts up on top of the hill. They were eventually changed into basketball courts.
This is, during the summer, has been the most utilized space in the city since I've been elected and since I've been a Barnwellian. This has been a major boost to our recreation department and the city's recreation in general.
I love Fuller Park. I think most because I grew up here, seeing the transition from the time where I was little with the merry-go-round up until now is amazing.
So Mark, you got any big plans coming up?
There's quite a bit to do coming up in April and May. So we have the Rice Festival at the end of April, and then we have the Wham Festival coming in May.
Wait a minute, Wham? What is Wham?
So Wham is the Walterboro Historical Arts and Music Festival. It's a week-long event, lots to do, artists, musicians, pretty much something for everybody. Make sure you check it out.
When traveling down the road, have you ever seen a sign that says historical marker up ahead? Did you just drive by? Or maybe you stopped to see what it is? Well, if you did, you may not know it, but there is somebody who puts those signs up and maintains them. So hey, let's go meet him. So who is he? And where is he from?
My name is Edwin Breeden, and I am staff historian in the South Carolina State Historic Preservation Office, which is a division of the South Carolina Department of Archives and History. And I serve as the coordinator for the South Carolina State Historical Marker Program. And I've been in this role for about 4 years now. I'm originally from Bennettsville, South Carolina, in Marlborough County, and I did my undergraduate work in history at Presbyterian College in Clinton, South Carolina, and I did my PhD work at Rice University in Houston.
But how does it work?
Probably the most important thing to understand about how the South Carolina Historical Marker Program works is that the program is overseen by our agency, so it's overseen by the state, but it is pretty much entirely driven from the local level. Pretty much any state historical marker that you see up along the side of the road somewhere, it was originally proposed, funded, installed, and is ultimately being maintained not by our office, but by local sponsoring organizations. And these are groups all across the state who are the ones who put forward new marker proposals and really take on the lion's share of the work that goes into making a state historical marker a reality. So our agency, we're constantly indebted to groups all across the state who see value in our program and choose to use it as one means of bringing attention to important places in their community.
How do you get a sign?
In terms of the actual application process, the way that it works is basically that these local sponsoring groups, they submit proposals for new markers to our office. We review the application, make sure the topic seems eligible for the program, and if it is, then we'll work with them to conduct additional research on the marker subject. We work with them to develop the inscription that's going to be on the marker, and once we've come to an agreement on the exact wording that's going to be on the marker, and it's approved by our agency director, at that point, it's considered an officially approved state historical marker.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more.
The purpose of the State Historical Marker Program, it is education. And so what that means is that we have to look at all the subjects of markers with very neutral and, as much as we possibly can, objective lens. And we have to interpret the history of those subjects in a very matter-of-fact sort of way. And so with the State Marker Program, what that means is that we approve markers for places that are important, and they're important for reasons that most people today would look back on and see as something worth celebrating. But we also approve markers at places that are important for reasons that most of us today would look back on and see as something that was very tragic, something that was terrible. But it's still important, and it's still something that's important for understanding our state's history. And so because of that, we try to take a very uniform and basic approach to all of the subjects that are being marked through our program. In terms of major changes in the program, probably one of the biggest has been the increasing representation of different groups of South Carolinians through the program, the most notable being African Americans. For the first several decades of the program's history, there were very few markers that were approved at places that were important because of associations they had with African Americans. That fortunately is something that has changed over time, especially over the last few decades, to the point that usually about half of the new markers we approve each year are for places that are important because of connections they have to African Americans. It certainly reflects growing attention and awareness on the part of our agency, but it also reflects growing interest and ability of groups around the state who are wanting to highlight places that are important to their community's history and to the state's history because of those connections that they have to African Americans. Probably my favorite aspect of the job is having the opportunity to work with groups all across South Carolina who are interested and bringing more attention to the history of their communities, and by extension the history of the state as well. It's great to be able to learn more about what's kind of going on in those specific towns and counties about history and historic preservation. And it's also wonderful, as a native South Carolinian, to just always be learning more about the state and the specific places that make it up. And so it really is a privilege to have this role and to be able to help those groups and to be able to help them teach people about their community's history and about South Carolina's history, and specifically through its historically significant places, which is what the marker program is meant to do.
Go to the South Carolina Department of Archives and History or scdah.sc.gov. Thanks for joining us.
Mark, I love our new journal, but where can we pick up one?
So if you're interested in reading the latest edition of the Colletonian Business Journal, make sure you check out our website at www.thecolletonian.net, or you can pick it up at one of your local chambers of commerce, and we're also inserted into the Barnwell-Allendale People's Sentinel newspaper. Check us out.
I'm Emily Benson, and I am co-owner and pastry chef of Urban Market and Cafe.
I'm Anya Chase, chef and co-owner of Urban Market and Cafe. Urban Market and Cafe is
located downtown Beaufort, South Carolina. So we came up with Urban Market and Cafe because we wanted to offer something that nobody else in Beaufort, South Carolina offered, from vegan fare to vegetarian, house-made pastries, fresh juice, smoothies. We wanted everyone to find something here.
The beet Reuben. Roasted beets, homemade Thousand Island, sauerkraut, pressed on a sprouted rye bread with smoked salt.
So some of our specialties at the cafe are our house-made croissants, all the fresh baked goods, our vegan fare, which we do a lot of comfort food, from our vegan quesadilla to our smoky beet Reuben.
The Brussels sprout melt.
That's a good one. We try to do daily specials. Try to use as much local produce as possible, and keep it seasonal, our menu. Definitely try to use local. Our main goal is to just use real food. It doesn't have to be fancy, we just want real quality food that we put our own spin on.
Mm-hmm.
So our view is definitely one of the drawing points. Outdoor seating, the view, free parking, and the food.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have such a great customer base. We have regulars that come, 5 days a week, some multiple times a day.
People even come when we're closed.
We have people coming from Hilton Head regularly, Charleston. We're definitely growing, and we're very excited about it.
Good.
So Urban Market and Cafe's address is 1601 North Street. Our website is urbanmarketandcafe.com, and then we are constantly posting on our Instagram, which is Urban Market and Cafe. We're also on Facebook, and that's where you can see a lot of our daily specials, any seasonal items we're offering, local produce or local items that we are featuring. We invite you to come to Urban Market and Cafe.
I'm Mark Fillion with Keegan-Phillian Farm. We're located in Walterboro, South Carolina. We are a grower of pastured chicken, grass-fed beef, and pastured pork. Keegan-Phillian Farms is a producer of pasture-raised chicken, pork, and grass-fed beef. We raise the animals here on our farm in Walterboro, take them to a processing plant in Kingstree, South Carolina, where they are processed and packaged, and bring them back here to sell on the farm through home delivery, as well as the Port Royal Farmers Market. The big thing today is farm to table, and we practice that. We raise them here. We sell direct to individuals, to families for their freezers, as well as local restaurants in Charleston, Beaufort, and the Hilton Bluffton Head area. We process our chickens on Wednesdays, our hogs on Tuesdays, and they're delivered to the restaurants the following Tuesday. And we have them here on the farm for families to purchase or at the farmers markets and home delivery. One of the things we decided to do here years ago was never to take a shortcut on our feed. If you take a shortcut on your feed, you're going to ruin the quality of your product. We grind all of our feed here on farm. We use local corn, local soybean meal. We grind weekly for the pigs, fill the feeders. When they first come out of the nursery, they're on a starter feed, then they get a grower feed, and then they get a finisher feed. But we will never skimp on the quality of the ingredients that we put in that feed. Between what we own and what we lease here, this farm is a little over 100 acres, with about 80 acres of it farmable. The rest of it is managed for wildlife. We have deer, turkey, dove, ducks, and we'll keep it that way. We work hard to manage it for wildlife. Several different breeds of hogs. The white ones are Yorkshire. The one with the black body, white face is a Berkshire. That's a Berkshire. This is a Hampshire, and we have Durocs. We crossbreed all of them. Some of them have been bred to Duroc boars. Others have been bred to Yorkshire boars. By using different breeds, we're trying to get a different quality meat. The Berkshires, for example, give you a redder meat that is very well marbled. The Yorkshires give you a leaner meat, but a longer loin area for more pork chops. The Duroc gives you heavy muscling ability, and the Hampshire gives you fast growth. So by crossbreeding them, you hope to get the best of each breed. We raise two different kind of meat chickens out here. We raise the white chicken, which is a Cornish rock cross, and we raise these red broilers. These here are Royals. These are a cross between a modern bird and a heritage bird. They're slower growing, have longer legs, but are a lot more flavorful. The area between these chicken houses and this field over here is grazing for the cows. We rotate them through our pastures. There's not an inch of land on this farm that isn't used for one thing or another. I'm Mark Fillion with Keegan-Phillian Farm in Walterboro. We're located at 1475 Keegan Drive, Walterboro. We have a website, www.keeganphillianfarm.com. We also have a Facebook page. Feel free to message us, send us an email, ask any questions. We'd be more than happy to help you. Staff here at Keegan-Phillian Farm want to invite you down to see the animals, purchase from our market, place an order, have it home delivered. See us at the Port Royal Farmers Market. We're here to serve you.
So now that we know where to get it, how do we advertise?
So make sure you reach out to Sam Gerke. She's our publisher. We'd also like, if you're interested, we'd love to have you be a sponsor of our TV show. But we have some amazing rates, and we have a huge reach for the publication. So check us out.
Bee City's Zoo and Honeybee Farm. We started off with a City of Beehives Dad created when he retired. It was a retirement hobby that got out of hand, but that's exactly how we started. It has grown into, so much more than that. Mom and Dad were looking for a way to retire years ago, and they talked about selling the property, and I made a move to make them an offer to buy the place. The main goal was to spend more time with my parents. I'd never intended for it to keep growing the way it has. It's just a passion that once the ball got started, I can't stop it. I love what I do. I love to be able to share people's enjoyment when they come out here. The honey has always been something we've been into, and I love that business and getting to distribute that throughout the Southeast. What I'm very proud of being able to do, I tell all my employees, we are a place to come and escape the troubles of life or the rigors of life, and bring your children out and just see things for the first time again. If you haven't seen these things, you've seen them for the first time. But I tell my employees this, when they come in, if you're not having a good time and you're here, there's no need to be here. So we provide happiness. That's what we are. We'll approach you and ask you if give you some fun facts about the animals. If you're open to receive that and want to hear more, we're going to oblige. If you want to paint your own picture with your families a different way and just enjoy your family, we're going to back off and let you have that as well. So I tell them all the time, we don't want to be the attraction. We want you to have the animals, the place, and we want you to be able to paint your own picture of happiness for your family. That's exactly what I try to provide. Bee City has started safari rides now. We've played with that a little bit last fall. We have the safari rides online. We pull you with the tractors and wagons through safari animals. You get to feed them and look at them and see animals from all over the world again there. You get to hand feed monkeys and lemurs on a normal day. We have animals that came from those environments of being with a lot of human contact, so we cultivate that here and let the humans enjoy and let the animals get the interactions they need. Animals here at Bee City, it spans everything from tigers to tadpoles. I mean, we really have Siberian tigers, snow leopards, we have primates. There's over 50 primates here, from ringtail lemurs, black and white lemurs, red lemurs, brown lemurs, capuchin monkeys, a bunch of different monkeys, kangaroos, zebras, camels. One of our latest additions last year, we brought in giraffes. That's an amazing animal. They're super cool. We have feeding times. You get to go up and interact and feed them, get up close and personal. And that's really what we focus on in our zoo, is being a hands-on, up-close and personal zoo. So I do better with hands-on, and I like to have that opportunity here for people. Now in our reptile center, we have everything from indigenous to king cobras to Gila monsters to spiders. We bring stuff from all over the world and educate and get to share information and get the public we get to educate the public on what we have in the world. Yep, Bee City is located pretty much between Summerville and Walterboro, but it's on the Highway 61 side. Our address says Cottageville. That is not the Cottageville proper. We're on the outskirts on Highway 61. So if you come out of Summerville, take a right on Highway 61, and we're 12 miles on your right. If you come off I-95 at the exit 68, that's the Kennedy's exit, and go south, we're 13 miles on your left. So Ridgeville's our neighbor to the north, and we're positioned right here in the Low Country, so you can drive from Savannah, Columbia, Charleston, and come have a great time with your family. So many different options to have a good time, to do it your way. We have everything from your normal day here, visiting the zoo and feeding animals, interacting and learning, to encounters, safari rides, giraffe feedings, Christmas festivals, Easter festivals. Look at holiday schedules online at bcityzoo.com, and you can get all the information and more there.
Meet Genesis Healthcare. We are a group of caring providers and employees who are deeply rooted in our communities and committed to improving the health of all people, regardless of their ability to pay. Too often, the quality of care received is determined by the amount of money one can pay. But Genesis Healthcare is changing that. You see, Genesis is not a traditional private practice. As a federally qualified health center, we have the ability to provide high-quality preventive and specialized care to low-income individuals, the uninsured, and the underinsured. Genesis provides a holistic approach of care to vulnerable populations that have limited access to health care. Health is our middle name, and whether you need a simple checkup, a visit with a specialist, diagnostic screenings, or a prescription filled, Genesis offers a wide range of healthcare services. We recognize that healthcare is more than just checkups and screenings, and that's why we take this comprehensive care approach and also invest in our communities through education and assistance. Our mission here at Genesis is to provide timely, affordable, compassionate, high-quality care and pharmaceutical services to the communities of South Carolina. Call us today and see how we can serve you and your family.
I'm Mark Weissong. I'm here with Mr. Bubba Tripp, event planner of the Colleton County Rice Festival. Mr. Tripp, tell everybody what it is and when it is.
This is the 48th year of the Colleton County Rice Festival, and the Rice Festival is powered by RIB Federal Credit Union and Genesis Healthcare. The festival is on April 28th and 29th, that's a Friday and Saturday, which Taste of Waldorf will be preceding that on April 25th. Lots of events going on that weekend.
Make sure you check it out at www.ricefestival.org. So, you know, Cherie, this show wouldn't have happened without two major sponsors and two really big events coming up.
Tell us more.
So we'd like to give special thanks to RIB Federal Credit Union, Genesis Healthcare, and of course we've got the Rice Festival coming up and the Wham Festival coming up in May.
Read it, view it,
live it, love it. Thank you for watching our show.
and we will see you next time.